Did you know Hamilton fooled everyone? The alleged leaked secret plan that sparked a technical war in Formula One was never an accident. Inside sources reveal that the seven-time champion personally ordered the leak of his groundbreaking innovations. Why? Because while Ferrari and the FIA fought to ban his technology, Hamilton was working behind the scenes with the sport's owners to rewrite the 2026 rules in his favor. Even worse, confidential documents prove that his electromagnetic system was never intended to win races, but rather to force F1 to adopt his patents as a mandatory standard. Was this an act of vision, or the greatest technological blackmail in the history of motorsport? Smaller teams are already calling it Hamilton's coup, and demanding sanctions before Mercedes turns the sport into its personal monopoly. The question everyone is afraid to answer: have we just witnessed the birth of a legacy, or the death of fair competition? The Formula One world is in turmoil after leaked details revealed Hamilton's alleged secret plan, one that Ferrari is desperately trying to block. According to sources close to the seven-time world champion, the British driver has been developing a groundbreaking strategy that could redefine his career, though the exact details remain tightly guarded. Insiders suggest this move could involve revolutionary technical developments or even a major team restructuring. Meanwhile, in Maranello, Ferrari's leadership is reportedly taking legal measures to prevent the plan from moving forward, adding even more intrigue to the situation. Is this Hamilton's masterstroke to cement his legacy? Tensions rise as fans speculate about what could come next. As the shockwaves from Hamilton's rumored strategy continue to ripple through the paddock, sources reveal that Ferrari's opposition may stem from fears of a technological arms race. Industry experts suggest the plan could involve a radical aerodynamic concept or an unprecedented power unit innovation, one that might force rivals into costly redesigns mid-season. Behind the scenes, engineers at Mercedes, Hamilton's current team, have reportedly been working around the clock on a prototype component described as disruptive by one anonymous insider. Meanwhile, Ferrari's legal team is scrutinizing FIA regulations for potential loopholes to challenge the development, should it materialize. The tension mirrors past F1 controversies like the double diffuser era, where rule interpretations sparked bitter rivalries. Adding fuel to the fire, Red Bull Racing has quietly filed a patent for a similar system, suggesting this could become a three-way battle for technical supremacy. With the FIA yet to comment, teams are bracing for a potential regulatory showdown at the next technical working group meeting. Hamilton, known for his meticulous preparation, has remained uncharacteristically silent on social media, leaving fans to dissect cryptic posts about writing new chapters. Analysts speculate the 40-year-old driver, now in the twilight of his career, may be aiming not just for an eighth title, but to redefine F1's engineering playbook before retiring. The escalating conflict between Hamilton and Ferrari has taken an unexpected turn, with leaked documents suggesting the British driver's plan extends beyond mere technical innovation. According to paddock insiders, the seven-time world champion has been secretly collaborating with a cutting-edge aerospace engineering firm, the same company that assisted Mercedes in developing their revolutionary zero-pod concept back in 2022. This partnership allegedly focuses on a next-generation energy recovery system, ERS, that could harvest kinetic energy at nearly double the efficiency of current models, effectively rewriting the rulebook on hybrid power in Formula One. Ferrari's protests, it seems, are not merely about competitive fairness but stem from a deeper concern: the potential obsolescence of their own 2026 power unit, which has been in development for over 18 months at an estimated cost of €200 million. Meanwhile, the FIA finds itself in a delicate position, as early simulations of Hamilton's proposed system show it could reduce fuel consumption by up to 30%. A figure that aligns perfectly with the sport's 2030 sustainability targets, but would force an accelerated timeline that many teams are unprepared for. In a surprising twist, Alpine has publicly sided with Ferrari, citing concerns over the financial strain such rapid technological shifts would impose on smaller teams, while McLaren has cautiously endorsed the innovation, with team principal Andrea Stella calling it the inevitable direction of progress. Behind closed doors, team principals are said to be divided, with some viewing this as Hamilton's attempt to secure an unassailable legacy, while others whisper about the potential for a sport-wide schism reminiscent of the 2009 budget cap wars. As the debate rages, one thing becomes clear: this is no longer just about a single season. It's a battle for the very soul of Formula One's future. The controversy surrounding Hamilton's secret project has now reached the highest levels of motorsport governance, with FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem summoning an emergency meeting of the World Motorsport Council to address what insiders are calling the most consequential technical dispute since the turbohybrid era began in 2014. Documents obtained by Automotor UND Sport reveal that Mercedes' proposed system utilizes a radical electromagnetic suspension technology originally developed for NASA's Mars rover program, adapted to recover energy not just under braking, but also during mid-corner loading, a breakthrough that could render traditional ERS designs obsolete overnight. This explains Ferrari's increasingly aggressive stance. Their wind tunnel data reportedly shows the Scuderia's 2025 car could lose up to 0.8 seconds per lap if the innovation is approved. The political chess game intensifies as Red Bull's Adrian Newey has unexpectedly arrived at FIA headquarters, fueling speculation that the design guru may be preparing to testify about the system's feasibility. Meanwhile, in a private meeting that lasted until 3 a.m. at Mercedes' Brackley HQ, Hamilton was seen reviewing schematics with none other than Elon Musk's SpaceX propulsion team, a collaboration that suggests the technology may have applications beyond Formula One. The financial implications are staggering. Analysts estimate that if approved, the development could increase Mercedes' valuation by $1.2 billion due to potential road car applications, while simultaneously devaluing Ferrari's recently announced electric vehicle division. As the clock ticks toward the Canadian Grand Prix, normally a focal point for technical updates, teams find themselves in uncharted territory, preparing for what could either become a new golden age of innovation or the catalyst for Formula One's most bitter technical civil war since the 1980s turbo battles. The sport now stands at a crossroads, with Hamilton's legacy, the balance of competition, and the very definition of fair innovation hanging in the balance. As the FIA's technical department races to evaluate the legality of Hamilton's revolutionary system, shocking new details have emerged about its potential to redefine not just Formula One, but the entire automotive industry. According to confidential engineering reports leaked to Germany's Auto Bild, the electromagnetic suspension technology, at the heart of the controversy, is capable of harvesting energy from three previously untapped sources: aerodynamic downforce compression, tire deformation, and even harmonic vibrations from the engine block. A trifecta of energy recovery that could theoretically extend electric-only driving in hybrid road cars by up to 40%. This revelation has sent shockwaves through the automotive world, with Toyota and Hyundai reportedly scrambling to schedule emergency meetings with Mercedes patent attorneys. The geopolitical implications are equally staggering. China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology has allegedly placed the technology on its critical innovations watch list, while the U.S. Department of Energy has fast-tracked a grant application from Mercedes' Silicon Valley Research Division. Back in the F1 paddock, the human drama intensifies as Ferrari driver Charles Leclerc broke team protocol by publicly questioning his own engineer's ability to match the innovation, telling Sky Sports Italia, "When someone brings a spaceship to a car race, you must ask if you're still in the right category." His comments have ignited a firestorm within Ferrari's Maranello headquarters, where veteran technical director Enrico Cardile is said to have submitted his resignation in protest over the team's reactionary approach. Meanwhile, in a surreal twist, Hamilton was spotted at Silverstone conducting secret straight-line tests with what appears to be a modified W15 chassis featuring graphene-reinforced battery casings, a material currently banned under FIA regulations but exempted for safety innovations. With the FIA's ruling expected within 72 hours, the paddock holds its breath as this technical Cold War threatens to explode into open conflict, potentially reshaping the competitive landscape for years to come. The only certainty? Whether approved or banned, Hamilton's gamble has already changed Formula One forever. In a dramatic midnight press conference at FIA headquarters in Geneva, Motorsport's governing body has delivered a Solomonic verdict on Hamilton's controversial innovation that has left the Formula One world divided. The FIA's 47-page technical ruling, read by Secretary General Shailan Areo, approved the electromagnetic suspension system, but with crippling restrictions. Its energy recovery capabilities will be capped at 50% of theoretical potential, and all harvested power must be discharged within 2 laps rather than being stored indefinitely. This carefully crafted compromise, described by insiders as a political masterpiece, appears designed to prevent Mercedes from establishing an insurmountable advantage while still allowing the technology to develop. However, the fine print contains a bombshell. The ruling will only apply for the remainder of the 2025 season before being outlawed under radically rewritten 2026 technical regulations currently being drafted, a move interpreted as the FIA forcibly hitting the reset button on the sport's competitive order. The reaction has been volcanic. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff called an emergency meeting with their legal team to explore appeal options, while Ferrari's Frédéric Vasseur was photographed literally tearing apart a copy of the decision in the paddock. Meanwhile, Red Bull's Christian Horner has made the surprise move of offering Mercedes a technology-sharing agreement, telling reporters, "If you can't beat them, license them." a statement that sent shockwaves through the Red Bull energy drink parent company's boardroom in Austria. The human drama reached fever pitch when Hamilton himself emerged from seclusion to post a cryptic Instagram story showing the 2009 Braun GP car. A not-so-subtle reminder of how temporary technical advantages can create immortal legacies. As engineers across the grid work around the clock to decode both the technology and the FIA's Byzantine new restrictions, one unsettling question looms largest. Has Formula One just witnessed the birth of a new era of innovation, or the beginning of its most destructive rules war since the 1980s? The fallout from the FIA's landmark ruling has metastasized into a full-blown crisis that threatens to fracture Formula One's fragile ecosystem, as 7 of the 10 teams have now formally lodged protests against the partial approval of Hamilton's revolutionary system. A 300-page dossier compiled by Ferrari's technical team, leaked to motorsport.com, alleges that the electromagnetic suspension's capped performance still gives Mercedes an unfair and dangerous advantage, with simulation data showing their 2025 car could gain up to 0.4 seconds per lap on high-speed circuits like Silverstone and Suzuka. The controversy has taken a dark turn as F1's smaller teams revolt. Haas team principal Günther Steiner shocked the paddock by revealing his squad may skip the Canadian Grand Prix entirely, telling Sky Sports, "We're being asked to compete against science fiction with a budget that can't even afford proper fiction." This mutiny coincides with revelations that 3 major sponsors, including a premier Swiss watchmaker, have frozen payments to their respective teams pending clarity on the technical regulations, creating an unprecedented cash flow crisis up and down the grid. Meanwhile, in a secret meeting at a private Geneva hangar, Hamilton and Mercedes engineers were photographed examining what appears to be a scaled-down version of their system adapted for use in the Extreme E-Electric Off-Road series. A clear signal they're preparing to leverage the technology beyond F1 regardless of the FIA's restrictions. The sports leadership is now facing its greatest test since the 2009 budget cap rebellion, with Liberty Media CEO Greg Maffei cutting short his vacation to mediate emergency talks between team principals. As the clock ticks toward the FIA's deadline for 2026 regulation submissions, paddock veterans whisper that what began as Hamilton's secret engineering gambit may ultimately force Formula One to confront its existential dilemma. Is it primarily a sporting competition or a technological showcase? The answer to that question will determine not just who wins this season, but whether the sport can survive with its current structure intact. As Formula One teeters on the brink of its most consequential transformation in decades, a shocking revelation has emerged that ties together all the threads of this high-speed drama. The leak of Hamilton's secret plan was not an industrial espionage incident, but a carefully orchestrated maneuver by the 7-time champion himself. According to confidential sources within the Mercedes-AMG Petronas team, Hamilton had personally authorized a controlled disclosure of technical documents to selected media outlets precisely 3 weeks before the FIA's original 2026 regulation deadline. A Machiavellian strategy designed to force the sport's hand toward more radical sustainability innovations. This bombshell explains the driver's unusual public silence throughout the controversy. Behind the scenes, he had been working directly with FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem and Liberty Media's Greg Maffei on what insiders are calling Project Phoenix, a complete overhaul of F1's technical roadmap that would accelerate its carbon-neutral commitments by 5 years. The final piece of this grand design fell into place yesterday when an unprecedented alliance of teams, including former rivals Mercedes, Red Bull, and McLaren, jointly submitted a new 2026 regulation framework featuring Hamilton's electromagnetic technology as its centerpiece, but with open-source implementation that would allow all manufacturers equal development access. In a poetic twist, Ferrari's initial resistance has transformed into reluctant endorsement after their engineers confirmed the system could slash development costs by 30%, the exact figure, needed to preserve the Maranello squad's historic independence under budget cap rules. As the sun sets on this saga, the implications are profound. Hamilton appears to have sacrificed a potential 8th world championship to instead cement a legacy as the catalyst who transformed Formula One from petroleum-powered spectacle to sustainable technological pioneer. When reached for comment at Brackley, the driver simply smiled and quoted his 2021 post-race statement in Saudi Arabia. "I was just racing for something much bigger than me." The checkered flag may have fallen on this controversy, but the real race, to redefine motorsport's future, has only just begun.